Hi everyone, I hope you are all doing well. A lot of you had questions about the last few problems in the assignment for session 4, so I want to briefly go over them. So, the first problem that there were a lot of questions about was problem 11. Then, problem 12, 13, and 14 were just follow up questions to that scenario. So, in problem 11, it says we're looking at a scenario for a specific clothing store. And the clothing store offers a 50% discount at the end of each week that an item remains unsold. So basically, what the clothing store is doing is it's trying to get rid of the items it's selling. So every week that clothing remains in the store, they offer more and more of a discounted price. What they're basically doing is they're continuing to cut the price in half. Because that's what it means to have 50% off, right? You're paying half of the original amount. That doesn't mean that ultimately it's going to end up being free. That just means that the price is going to continue getting lower and lower and lower. So that doesn't mean that after 2 weeks, the discount will be 100% off. You're not going to get it for free. So the answer was false. And those of you who submitted false, at the end of the quiz, you received this piece of feedback. And the feedback said the price will just continue to be cut in half every week. The price will get lower and lower and lower. I'll show you an example of what I mean by that. Let's say you have a shirt that was $40. So this was the original price of the shirt. So if you're going to take 50% off, so if the original price is $40 and every week you take 50% off, that means after 1 week, it's going to go down to $20. After 2 weeks, we're going to cut this price in half again. So then it's going to be $10. After 3 weeks, it's going to be $5. After 4 weeks, it's going to be $2.50. So the price will get lower and lower and lower. And after enough time has passed, the price will be very small, probably like $1, 50 cents, 25 cents. But the idea here is that we wouldn't have to wait that long anyways, because the idea is that after 4 or 5 weeks, they probably would have sold the item. So they wouldn't ultimately be giving it away for free. Because once the shirt is $5, $2.50, $1, somebody's going to buy that shirt. So this is what we mean when we say that every single week we're taking an additional 50% off. Now in the next questions, I basically asked you to do what I just did. I told you assume the original price of the shirt was $100. If the original price was $100, you have to calculate the price after 1 week. So if the original price is $100, remember we're cutting it in half. After 1 week, it's going to be $50 because if we cut $100 in half, that's 50. So next we have to determine what would the price be after 2 weeks. We're going to cut $50 in half, and that would be $25. Finally, we had to determine the percent of discount after 2 weeks. Percent of discount after 2 weeks. The key idea here is that you're analyzing the change that occurred after 2 weeks, not after 1 week. So what happens for a lot of you is you calculated a 50% discount because you compared either these two numbers, 150, or you compared these two numbers, 50 and 25. So we're not comparing the change after just 1 week, we're comparing the change after 2 weeks. So let's just write the percent change formula because that's what we're ultimately calculating. If we want to determine the percent of discount, we want to determine the percent change because a discount is a change that happens to a value. So remember, when calculating percent change, you take the original value subtracted by the new value. We want to find the absolute value. Actually, let me change this to amount. Original amount minus new amount. Remember, we're calculating the absolute value. That's what these bars tell us because we want a positive number because we just want to determine what's the distance between these two values. And then we divide it by the original amount. So in this case, our original amount was $100 because that's what the price of the shirt was before any time passed. If we're determining the discount after 2 weeks, our new amount is going to be the price after 2 weeks, which was $25. So I'm plugging into my formula. I'm plugging in 100 here. When we subtract, this is $75. The $100. I'm just going to take the dollar sign out. When you divide, this gives you 0.75, which is 75%. That was the answer. So there was a 75% decrease or discount in the price of the shirt after 2 weeks.